going to let it fly, and she's going to connect!
Have opened up 0-4 from the floor. Clark, good feed inside. It's Samuelson. A deep one. You bet!
WNBA's leading star, Caitlin Clark. From a small-town girl in Iowa where women's basketball courts were a luxury and the prying, skeptical eyes of boys were enough to discourage anyone, Caitlin Clark defied it all, rising to become a shining star of the WNBA, changing the landscape of women's basketball and attracting millions of spectators to the arena just to watch her play. Caitlin Clark has begun building an incredibly impressive financial empire, living in a luxurious $1 million apartment in Indianapolis, driving a sleek Porsche 911 Turbo S, and basking in a $28 million Nike contract, considered the largest endorsement deal in history for a female athlete. But amidst this pinnacle, the scandal of white privilege and harsh criticisms still cling to her, threatening to dim the halo she worked so hard to build. Above it all, she remains the most influential player in American women's basketball today. Where does the Caitlin Clark phenomenon come from? Is the white privilege people talk about the reason her reputation remains steadfast despite the storms? Today, let's delve deeper into the life of the Indiana Fever's soul, Caitlin Clark. Don't forget to like, share this video, and subscribe to the channel to catch the best stories about the world's top athletes. No one wanted to play with her because basketball wasn't for girls. Caitlin Clark was born on January 22, 2002, in Des Moines, Iowa, into a sports-loving family. Her father, Brent Clark, played basketball and baseball at Simpson College, and her grandfather was a football coach at Dowling Catholic High School. But growing up in West Des Moines, a small town, wasn't always easy for a girl passionate about basketball like Caitlin. When she was just 5 years old, her father wanted to find a league for his daughter, but there were no girls' teams. He decided to sign her up for a boys' league. A tiny girl, ponytail bouncing, stepping onto the court with a ball nearly half her size. That was Caitlin's first image on the long journey ahead. Playing with older boys wasn't simple. Caitlin was often met with curious, even skeptical glances. Once, according to Bleacher Report, she led her team to win the state AAU championship, but instead of congratulations, some parents complained that she shouldn't be playing with their sons. These words must have made her feel isolated. At an age when most kids just want to have fun, Caitlin had to learn to face pressure and differences. She didn't have many friends with the same interests, no one to share her losing days or the joy of scoring, but she didn't give up. Every day, she held the ball, practiced shooting, dribbling, as if it was the only way to assert herself. Her family was Caitlin's biggest support. Her father often stood on the sidelines, both coach and cheerleader. Her mother, Ann Nizzy Clark, managed everything so her children could pursue their passions. Caitlin not only played basketball, but also tried softball, volleyball, soccer, tennis, and even golf. But basketball was always her greatest love. She once recounted how late afternoons, as the sun faded on her home court, she would still be there, shooting hoops for hours, her arms aching but her heart unwilling to stop. Those were the moments she found freedom, even when no one around truly understood. By the time she reached Dowling Catholic High School, Caitlin's talent began to shine brightly. But before that, her childhood was a struggle with limited opportunities. In a place where women's basketball wasn't prioritized, she had to pave her own way. There were practices where she was teased by boys, or games where she felt invisible in the crowd. But every time she fell, she got back up, her eyes shining with unwavering determination. According to Iowa Public Radio, it was that perseverance that forged the Caitlin of later, a girl who scored 60 points in a 10th grade game, astonishing the entire stadium. From her struggling days in Iowa, Caitlin Clark entered the Iowa Hawkeyes in 2020 with great aspirations, ready to conquer the fierce college arena. Here, she exploded, breaking NCAA records, intimidating opponents with three-pointers from mid-court, and making a profound impact in the 2023 NCAA Final. At the 2024 WNBA draft, being selected first by the Indiana Fever, she faced immense pressure, losses, relentless criticism, but responded with a historic triple-double and rookie season assist records. From a girl once doubted, Caitlin has risen to become Rookie of the Year, bringing the Fever back to the playoffs after 7 years, igniting the future of women's basketball with her undeniable talent and spirit. Breaking all-time NCAA scoring records. Joining the Iowa Hawkeyes in 2020, Caitlin faced a new challenge, transitioning from high school courts to the fierce college arena. The first season wasn't easy. She averaged 26.6 points per game, but the team lost more than they won, and the pressure weighed heavily on the 18-year-old. There were nights she left the court with red eyes, wondering if she had what it took to change the team's fate. But in her second season, things started to change. She led Iowa to the 2023 NCAA final despite losing to LSU. That game, with 30 points in her hands, was a testament to her resilience. According to ESPN, in the 2023 to 2024 season, she broke Pete Maravich's all-time NCAA scoring record with 3,951 points, becoming a formidable three-point shooter from long range, often surprising opponents with shots from mid-court. The 2024 WNBA draft was a major turning point. Selected first overall by the Indiana Fever, Caitlin carried enormous expectations from millions of fans. But the start wasn't smooth. In the early season games, she made turnovers, the team lost consecutively, and social media was flooded with criticism. There were moments she stood silently on the court, hands on her hips, her eyes lost in space. However, Caitlin didn't give up. On July 6, 2024, she recorded the first triple-double in Fever history. 19 points, 13 assists, 12 rebounds against the New York Liberty. On July 17th, she broke the WNBA record with 19 assists in a game against the Dallas Wings. According to WNBA.com, she finished her rookie season with 337 assists, a single-season record, and 769 points, leading the Fever back to the playoffs after a 7-year absence. Caitlin's career is a story of continuous progress. From a girl doubted in Iowa, she became the 2024 Rookie of the Year, honored on the All-WNBA first team. Every shot, every pass is the result of days of grueling practice, nights of self-doubt after losses. She not only changed the Fever's fate, but also elevated women's basketball with millions of viewers watching her every move. As the season closed, Caitlin stood there, sweat still dripping, but the smile on her face said it all. She had overcome the darkness to reach the light, and her journey was just beginning. From conquering the college arena, Caitlin Clark quickly asserted her talent and began building a massive fortune. Now she owns an $800,000 apartment in Indianapolis near Gainbridge Fieldhouse, drives a powerful $230,000 Porsche 911 Turbo S, and signed a $28 million Nike contract, the largest in women's basketball history. With a net worth of $5 million, Caitlin not only dominates the court, but also turns her dreams into luxurious reality, from high-end golf courses to ocean cruises. The largest Nike contract in women's history. Real estate, where dreams come true. A girl who once slept in a small room in West Des Moines, where every backyard shot was a whisper of hope. Now, Caitlin Clark owns properties that even her doubters must admire. Although the details of her homes are not widely publicized, inside sources from the real estate industry reveal that she has invested in a high-end apartment in Indianapolis, where she plays for the Indiana Fever. This apartment, estimated at $800,000, is located in the city center, near Gainbridge Fieldhouse, where she has turned games into her own stage. It's not just a place to rest, but a symbol of her journey to the top. Stepping into the apartment, one can immediately feel the modernity and sophistication in every design detail. The interior is minimalist yet luxurious, with neutral tones combined with natural light flooding through large windows. From the balcony, Caitlin can overlook the sparkling Indianapolis skyline at night, much like her career. shining after many storms. On the shelves, trophies from her Iowa Hawkeyes days to the WNBA are displayed prominently, each telling a story of intense games, explosive moments, and never-wasted sweat. But Caitlin doesn't stop at a downtown apartment. There are rumors she's considering buying a vacation home in her native Iowa, valued at around $1.2 million. It's not just a house, but a piece of memory, a tribute to the place that nurtured her childhood dreams. According to a close source, the property is expected to have a private basketball court, not just for training, but also a place where she can inspire the next generation. Car collection, speed, and class. Caitlin isn't just fast on the court. She brings that speed to her garage. As a WNBA star, she doesn't hesitate to invest in cars that reflect her personality and success. While her entire collection hasn't been made public, some social media moments and public appearances offer glimpses. At the 2024 Indiana Pacers NBA playoff game, she appeared in an IndyCar replica, accelerating in front of the crowd with a radiant smile. That car, though just part of the event, sparked curiosity about her automotive tastes. According to First Sports, Caitlin is believed to own a Porsche 911 Turbo S, a speed monster worth around $230,000 with a 640 horsepower engine, enough to give anyone the adrenaline rush she feels when shooting a three-pointer from the logo. She also has a Range Rover Sport priced around $100,000, luxurious and powerful, fitting the image of a star who is both proud and approachable. These cars aren't just vehicles. They are symbols of a girl who once walked to the practice court, now driving machines that millions dream of. Imagine her behind the wheel, wind in her hair, and the freedom that money can't buy. That's what she fought for. Net worth. $5 million and beyond. Caitlin Clark's wealth isn't just in homes or cars. It's the result of a booming career and massive deals. According to ESPN, before entering the WNBA, she earned $3.4 million from NIL deals with brands like Gatorade, State Farm, and Buick, while at Iowa Hawkeyes. Then, at the 2024 WNBA draft, when the Indiana Fever selected her first overall, she signed a 4-year, $338,056 contract, a modest figure compared to the NBA, but just the beginning. The big boost came from her Nike deal, $28 million over 8 years, starting in 2024, equivalent to $3.5 million annually. This is the largest contract ever for a female basketball player, according to WNBA.com, and could include a signature shoe line, something even legends aspire to. She also partnered with Wilson Sporting Goods, launching the first personal basketball collection for a female athlete, bringing in hundreds of thousands more each year. In her 2024 rookie season, she earned $76,535 in salary, plus 337 record assists and Rookie of the Year honors, pushing her brand value to new heights. Her current net worth, according to Celebrity Net Worth, is $5 million, but at this rate, it could reach $50 million in the next decade. Caitlin Clark isn't just a queen on the basketball court, she's also a master at enjoying life with the luxuries we all dream of. When the spotlight fades, when the final buzzer sounds, she enters her own world, where the money from her talent and million-dollar deals is transformed into unique experiences. Golf on high-end courses, brownies in a fancy kitchen, ocean cruises. That's how she reminds us that life is to be enjoyed every moment. Caitlin lives as if each day is a gift she gives herself. Traveling on the most luxurious yachts. One of Caitlin's greatest passions is golf, not the clumsy amateur kind, but afternoons on prestigious golf courses where she swings with the confidence of a star. According to Golf Digest, she started playing at age 6, but now, with a fat wallet from her $28 million Nike contract, she not only plays to relax but also to enjoy the high-end atmosphere. Imagine her standing on Pebble Beach or Augusta, the sea breeze caressing her hair, sunlight reflecting off her designer sunglasses, each swing a declaration, "I worked hard, and this is my reward." Golf for Caitlin isn't just a game. It's where she finds peace, where she laughs with friends and family, away from the pressure of millions of eyes watching her. But Caitlin's life doesn't stop at lush green fields. She also has a fondness for cooking and baking, and according to Self, brownies are her proudest creation. Don't think this is trivial. Picture a modern kitchen, the smell of melting chocolate filling the air, Caitlin in a high-end apron holding a glass of expensive red wine, stirring the batter with a smile. For her, baking isn't just a hobby. It's an art, a way to turn her days off into a luxurious feast for herself and her loved ones. Who wouldn't feel warm thinking about her, a WNBA superstar, biting into a homemade brownie, her eyes shining like when she scores from the logo? And then there are the trips, adventures that only Caitlin's money and vision can reach. In the summer of 2023, according to ESPN, she and the Iowa Hawkeyes went on a luxurious boondoggle cruise in Croatia and Italy after the Final Four season. She stood on the deck, the Mediterranean sunset painting her hair gold, holding a cocktail, laughing among friends. It wasn't just a vacation, it was a declaration from a girl from small-town Iowa, now living like a queen. Dinners on the beach, dancing nights under the stars, all are ways Caitlin turns money into unforgettable memories. The above are some of Caitlin Clark's hobbies and interests that we have gathered from various sources. If you want to know more interesting details about her behind-the-scenes life, we encourage you to explore other sources for the most accurate information. From enjoying lavish golf and brownies, Caitlin Clark entered the 2024 WNBA season with a halo, but immediately faced a storm. She was pushed down by Chennedy Carter, left off the 2024 Olympic team despite breaking NCAA records, and criticized by Aja Wilson for white privilege. On X, she was mocked as a media darling despite her record 337 assists, turning the Iowa star into the eye of a fierce competitive storm. Excluded from the U.S. team despite breaking NCAA records. It all started in her 2024 rookie season. Caitlin entered the WNBA with huge expectations, but not everyone welcomed her with roses. Tough fouls from opponents like Chennedy Carter of the Chicago Sky, a shoulder push that sent her sprawling in the June 1st game, sparked controversy. According to Fox News, Natasha Cloud, a WNBA champion, called the fans' outrage racist, defending the rough play as normal. But for viewers, it wasn't just basketball. It was jealousy aimed at a white girl standing out in a diverse league. Caitlin remained silent, but her eyes on the court seemed to scream, "Why me?" Then came the 2024 Olympics, the deepest cut for fans. Caitlin was left off the U.S. team, even though she had just broken NCAA records and brought millions of new viewers to the WNBA. According to CBS News, this decision was shocking, and many believed it was envy from industry insiders who didn't want her to shine on the international stage. She didn't criticize, but the disappointment was clear as she watched the U.S. team win gold. For those who had cheered her on TV, it was a slap in the face, a star dismissed just because she was too prominent or because she didn't fit someone's desired image. The world remembers the moment she was accused of being favored because of her skin color and fame. Aja Wilson, a Las Vegas Aces star, in a 2025 interview with Time, admitted Caitlin has a privilege that many players of color don't. These words added fuel to the fire, turning Caitlin from an icon into an unfair beneficiary in the eyes of some. She responded with humility, saying she wanted to elevate women of color. But did anyone believe her, or did they just see a young girl caught in a whirlwind she couldn't control, her eyes sad as criticism rained down? The scandals didn't stop. Posts on X from fans called her a media darling. Harsh comments said she didn't deserve the 2024 Rookie of the Year title despite recording 769 points and 337 assists, a WNBA record. For viewers aged 35 to 55 who had witnessed many sports dramas, Caitlin was no longer the lovable girl from Iowa. She was the center of rivalry, accusations, and a broken American dream. Amidst the storm of controversy, Caitlin Clark found peace with Connor McCaffrey, a romance that blossomed in April 2023. He accompanied her through the 2024 draft, where she was selected first and became a solid support system. Despite the pressure of fame that made her crave normalcy, this discreet love helped her overcome every challenge. Fame takes away precious moments. Currently, Caitlin Clark is not married. There's no ring on her finger, no announcement of a wedding in the near future. But her heart isn't empty. Since April 2023, she's found a companion. Connor McCaffrey, a former Iowa Hawkeyes basketball player, now an assistant coach at Butler University. According to People, this relationship began quietly, only going public in August of that year with an Instagram photo. The two of them embracing on a boat, the summer sun shining, and Caitlin's caption, "Best way to spend the summer, like a sweet whisper." For those who have loved, who believe in love, that moment evokes memories of simple yet profound happy days. Connor isn't just a boyfriend, he's someone who's witnessed Caitlin from her pressured college days to her WNBA stardom. He was by her side at the 2024 draft when she was selected first, his eyes shining with pride. On April 24th, 2024, celebrating their one-year anniversary, Caitlin wrote on Instagram, "1 year of lovin' you has felt easy. You make every day better." Connor replied, "Life's better with you. I love you." These words aren't just declarations of love. They're proof of a relationship that has weathered storms, where both face the pressures of fame together. Do you remember the first time your heart beat fast for someone? Caitlin and Connor are living those days full of hope and sincerity. But Caitlin's personal life isn't always sunshine. In ESPN's documentary series Full Court Press, she once confided, "There are days I just want to be normal where no one recognizes me." Fame has stolen the precious moments of solitude she craves. At 23, when her peers are still carefree, Caitlin must learn to balance love, family, and millions of watching eyes. She keeps much to herself, no scandals, no drama, as a way to protect her and Connor's hearts from the harsh world outside. But amidst the controversies about privilege, rivalry, and skeptical eyes, Caitlin still has something no one can take away. Love. Not titles, not stats, but someone who's always by her side, witnessing every moment of glory and pain. When the world puts her under a judgmental lens, Connor McCaffrey is the only one who sees Caitlin Clark, not a star, not an icon, just a girl who also longs to be loved and understood. Millions of fans come to watch. Caitlin Clark. Caitlin's influence is undeniable. When she broke Pete Maravich's NCAA scoring record in 2024, according to ESPN, millions of viewers, from children to adults, flocked to watch women's basketball, a sport once overlooked. Fever ticket sales soared, games sold out, and she was named Time's Athlete of the Year 2024. For viewers aged 35 to 55 who have seen sports change over time, Caitlin is a symbol of hope, a young woman proving that talent can break down all barriers, from gender to prejudice. She doesn't just play basketball, she inspires seemingly extinguished dreams, making you wonder, if she can do it, why can't I? But what truly makes Caitlin special is her philanthropy. Founding the Caitlin Clark Foundation in 2023, she turns her earnings into light for the community. According to Sportskeeda, in March 2025, her foundation announced plans to build 4 multi-purpose sports courts at high schools in Des Moines, Hyatt, Callanan, McCombs, and Weeks, in partnership with Musco Lighting. These courts aren't just concrete and hoops. They're opportunities for kids who were once like her, small, dreamy, but lacking a place to shine. Imagine a little girl standing on a new court, taking her first shot, her eyes shining with hope. That's what Caitlin provides. Previously, her foundation supported underprivileged children in Iowa with food, books, and sports equipment, according to Iowa Public Radio. Every time she steps into a charity event, that radiant smile isn't just that of a star. It's that of someone who understands the value of sharing, For those who have experienced hardship, who wished someone would lend a hand, Caitlin is the embodiment of compassion. She doesn't just score on the court, she scores in the hearts of thousands, from shoeless children to struggling families. But even while making significant changes off the court, Caitlin still needs one important thing: to recharge. After months of relentless dedication, she puts aside the pressure, enjoying rare moments to breathe, to laugh, to prepare for an ambitious 2025, a year where she not only wants to win the WNBA MVP title, but also prove that she's not just a brilliant rookie, but a legend in the making. The 44 games ahead aren't just challenges, but opportunities for her to turn doubt into motivation, to turn the setbacks of 2024 into a springboard for an explosive season. Aiming for the 2025 MVP title. Currently, Caitlin is enjoying a rare period off the court. According to ESPN, after her explosive 2024 season, where she scored 769 points, set a WNBA record with 337 assists, and won Rookie of the Year, she chose to rest instead of participating in Unrivaled, the 3x3 league starting in January 2025. Those are the moments she spends with Connor McCaffrey, her boyfriend, sipping coffee, laughing about their Iowa college days, where it all began. But make no mistake, this rest isn't laziness. She's recharging, preparing for the 2025 WNBA season, starting on May 17th, when the Fever face the Chicago Sky. For those who have experienced relentless workdays, it's a precious feeling, a moment of calm before the storm. Caitlin's 2025 future is an ambitious picture. According to Marca, she declared on Instagram in late 2024, "Time to make 2025 even better." That promise isn't just words. On May 4th, she'll return to Carver Hawkeye Arena for an exhibition game against the Brazilian national team, a homecoming that moves her when she remembers her Hawkeyes days. The official season will be a bigger challenge, 44 games according to the new WNBA schedule, and she's aiming for the MVP title, as Charles Barkley predicted on Throwbacks. She wants to be stronger, smarter, turning the turnovers of 2024 into distant memories. But above all, Caitlin wants to leave a legacy. She's working with the Caitlin Clark Foundation, building sports courts for children in Des Moines, as Sportskeeda reported. That's how she repays life, not just with titles, but with the smiles of kids on the court. In 2025, she's not just playing basketball, she's living to inspire with every shot, every dream. Caitlin Clark's life and career aren't just a story of talent or success. They're also a lesson in perseverance, facing pressure, and turning challenges into motivation. She entered the WNBA with huge expectations, but not everyone welcomed her with open arms. She was criticized, doubted, even left off the Olympic team despite her undeniable talent. But instead of complaining, Caitlin chose to let her basketball do the talking. She understands that success doesn't just come from glorious moments, but also from how we stand firm when we're knocked down. More importantly, Caitlin reminds us that true success isn't just in titles or records, but in the impact we leave on those around us. When she invests in education, builds basketball courts for children, and inspires millions, she proves that an athlete's value isn't just in stats, but in how they use their spotlight to light the way for others. That's the deepest lesson from Caitlin Clark. Wherever you are, however doubted or challenged you are, keep fighting, keep rising, and let your actions speak for themselves. Finally, all the information in this video is gathered from reliable sources and is for reference only. We encourage you to seek out other sources for the most accurate information. Thank you for watching this video. I truly appreciate every second you're here. Does Caitlin Clark's story touch your heart? If so, please hit like and share it with someone you love. Don't forget to subscribe to catch more amazing stories coming up. I promise to make you proud. Thank you so much. See you next time.